If you're living with diabetes, type 1, type 2, or even pre-diabetes, you already know this condition is more than just a diagnosis. It's a daily negotiation with your body. Every decision you make, from what you eat, to when you move, to how much you sleep, can swing your blood sugar in the right direction or send it spiraling out of control. There's no time off, no breaks, no normal days. Before we continue, I'd like to tell you about Diacelan, a powerful blend of 13 natural ingredients, each carefully selected for their proven ability to support healthy blood sugar levels, enhance insulin sensitivity, and promote overall wellness. You can read more on diacelan.com. For millions of people, diabetes becomes not just a health issue, but a full-time lifestyle, emotionally exhausting, physically demanding, and often deeply frustrating. You start out trusting doctors, following plans, counting carbs, and taking your medications faithfully. But over time, as you navigate the ups and downs, it's only natural to start wondering if there's an easier way, a shortcut, a better alternative, a fix that's gentler, more natural, less invasive. And that's exactly where supplements step in. They're everywhere, on the shelves at pharmacies, on the ads that show up in your social feeds, in YouTube videos that promise you blood sugar control without drugs. They use words like natural, plant-based, clinically tested, or doctor recommended. And suddenly you're thinking, what if this tiny pill, this herbal capsule, this ancient root powder could do what your meds are doing, or even more? The idea is incredibly appealing. It speaks to your desire for control, for freedom, for a return to normalcy without the side effects or costs of pharmaceutical drugs. And let's be honest, it's hard not to be curious. People claim they've reversed their diabetes with cinnamon, lowered their A1C with berberine, or stabilized their sugars with chromium or bitter melon. These aren't just ads. They're real people with stories that sound convincing. So you try one. Or maybe you already have. Maybe you're even thinking about stopping your medication altogether. Or you've already cut back without telling your doctor. Because if it's working, if it's natural, how dangerous could it be, right? That's exactly the problem. Because beneath the surface of these natural solutions lies a serious, often overlooked risk. A risk that could destabilize your blood sugar, damage your organs, and even put your life in danger. The most dangerous mistake diabetics make with supplements is treating them as completely safe and separate from their medical treatment plan, as if they're vitamins or herbal teas you can casually add to your routine. It's an easy trap to fall into. Supplements are marketed with soothing language, supports healthy blood sugar, clinically studied ingredients, natural formula. These labels lull people into thinking they don't need to worry about side effects or interactions. But here's the truth. Many of these compounds are biologically active. That means they can and do impact blood sugar, hormone levels, digestion, and even cardiovascular function. For a diabetic, that's a big deal. Many diabetics take multiple medications: insulin, metformin, sulfonylureas, DPP-4 inhibitors, or GLP-1 agonists. Introducing a supplement without medical oversight is like adjusting your medication dose without telling your doctor. It's reckless and potentially dangerous. And yet, many diabetics do this every day without realizing the risk. The result can be blood sugar instability, organ stress, or even emergency situations that land you in the hospital. Worse, some individuals fully replace their prescribed medication with a supplement because they've heard anecdotal success stories, only to find out too late that they were following advice not backed by science or safety protocols. Take cinnamon, one of the most talked about supplements in the diabetes community. It's found in capsules, teas, powders, and even gum, all marketed to help regulate blood sugar naturally. Yes, there is some research showing that cinnamon, particularly Ceylon cinnamon, can have a modest effect on blood glucose levels. Compounds like cinnamaldehyde may help improve insulin sensitivity or slow carbohydrate digestion. But what these marketing claims don't tell you is that most of the research is inconsistent. Some studies show benefit, while others show little or no effect. Dosages aren't standardized, and many products contain cassia cinnamon, which in high doses can be toxic to the liver due to its coumarin content. But the real danger isn't whether cinnamon works. It's what happens when it interacts with your medications. Let's say you're already taking metformin and a sulfonylurea. These medications are designed to lower blood sugar effectively. Now you add a daily cinnamon capsule without adjusting anything else. That natural compound could compound the effects of your medication, leading to dangerously low blood sugar, also known as hypoglycemia. Symptoms like shakiness, sweating, dizziness, or mental confusion might seem minor at first, but if not caught quickly, a hypoglycemic episode can lead to unconsciousness, seizures, or even death. Most supplement bottles don't warn you about this. And most diabetics aren't told to monitor extra closely when starting a supplement. That's the danger. A false sense of safety where there should be heightened caution. Berberine is another prime example. It's a plant-derived compound found in traditional Chinese medicine, and in recent years it's gained huge traction in Western wellness circles. People call it nature's metformin because studies suggest it can lower blood glucose, reduce insulin resistance, and even improve lipid profiles. Sounds amazing, right? But again, here's the danger. Berberine works similarly to metformin. It activates AMPK, a key enzyme that regulates glucose uptake and metabolism. So if you're already on metformin or any glucose-lowering drug, and you start berberine, you're essentially doubling the drug effect. And no, natural doesn't mean your liver, kidneys, and cardiovascular system won't be affected. In fact, berberine is metabolized in the liver and can affect cytochrome P450 enzymes, meaning it can change how other drugs are broken down in your body. This could intensify or weaken the effects of blood pressure medications, cholesterol drugs, antidepressants, and more. There's also evidence that berberine can interfere with the absorption of certain antibiotics or anticoagulants. Yet none of this is explained in the product description. People take it casually, expecting nothing more than a bit of help with glucose levels, not realizing they've introduced a compound that could fundamentally alter how their medications behave. Things get even more complicated when you realize that most diabetics aren't managing just diabetes. They're also dealing with other health concerns: hypertension, high cholesterol, kidney issues, obesity, or mood disorders. Each of these comes with its own set of medications and risks. When you toss supplements into this already delicate mix, the chances of an interaction multiply. Magnesium, for example, is often recommended for diabetics because it supports nerve function and insulin sensitivity. But if taken with certain blood pressure medications or diuretics, magnesium can either build up to unsafe levels or be excreted too rapidly. Chromium is another common recommendation. It's said to help insulin work more effectively. But add it to a regimen that already includes insulin or sulfonylureas, and again, you could face a sudden blood sugar crash. The problem isn't always the supplement itself. It's the lack of context, the missing supervision, and the illusion that natural means neutral. And because the supplement industry is largely unregulated, the contents of your capsule might not even match what's on the label. One brand might give you a helpful dose while another delivers 3 times as much, or includes harmful additives that aren't disclosed. There's also a massive psychological component to this. People with diabetes often feel overwhelmed, isolated, and frustrated. It's a relentless disease, and they're constantly told what not to do. Don't eat this. Don't skip your meds. Don't forget your testing. So when someone comes along offering a natural solution, one that's not a lecture, not a prescription, and not another reminder of your diagnosis, it feels like freedom. It feels empowering. And while empowerment is good, false hope is not. That emotional vulnerability makes people susceptible to exaggerated claims, miracle cures, and anecdotal success stories that don't reflect the risks or realities. It's not uncommon to see diabetics on forums encouraging each other to ditch their meds and go natural, citing 1 or 2 success stories while ignoring the countless others who silently suffer when it goes wrong. And make no mistake, those failures are often hidden because they're too ashamed to talk about what happened. Or worse, they don't live long enough to warn others. The supplement industry, meanwhile, thrives on this silence and confusion. Unlike pharmaceutical companies, they're not required to prove efficacy, consistency, or even basic safety. Many supplements are produced overseas with poor quality control, contaminated raw materials, and zero oversight. Independent testing has repeatedly uncovered mislabeled products, fake ingredients, and dangerous contaminants, from heavy metals to actual pharmaceutical drugs hidden inside herbal capsules. The worst part, most people assume that if it's on a shelf, it's been vetted. That's not the case. The FDA doesn't test supplements before they hit the market. They only step in after harm has already been done. That means you could be putting your trust and your life into a capsule that's never been properly tested, never approved, and potentially never even studied in humans. So what's the safe, smart path forward? First and foremost, you have to treat supplements like medicine. That means involving your healthcare team in every decision. If you're interested in a new supplement, bring it to your doctor. Share the label. Ask about interactions, safety, and whether there's actual science to back up the claims. Don't just look at blogs or influencer videos. Look for peer-reviewed studies and guidance from professionals who understand pharmacology and diabetes. If your doctor doesn't know, ask them to refer you to a specialist or pharmacist who does. Also, track everything. If you start a supplement, test your blood sugar more frequently. Journal your readings, your meals, your physical activity, and how you feel. If anything changes, even slightly, bring that data to your doctor. That's how you make informed, evidence-based decisions, not emotional ones. In conclusion, the most dangerous mistake diabetics make with supplements isn't just about taking the wrong capsule or misjudging a dosage. It's about trusting something without truly understanding it, believing that natural means risk-free, and placing more confidence in online hype or unverified testimonials than in professional guidance. It's the slow, quiet shift away from science-backed care toward hope-based experiments, experiments that happen inside your own body, often without you realizing how much you're gambling. When you have diabetes, every decision you make affects more than just your blood sugar. It impacts your heart, your kidneys, your nerves, your eyes, and ultimately, your longevity. The danger doesn't always show up as a dramatic crash. It often appears silently over weeks and months in the form of worsened insulin resistance, undetected organ strain, or confusing symptoms that don't get traced back to a supplement until it's too late. This isn't a condemnation of supplements. Many of them have real potential, but it is a wake-up call to treat them with the seriousness they deserve. Supplements are not candy. They're not harmless additions. They are bioactive substances that can shift your body's chemistry, for better or for worse. Without proper oversight, they can interact with medications, exaggerate effects, or create entirely new health risks that no one online warned you about. The problem isn't the intent, it's the assumption. And in the world of chronic illness, assumptions can be deadly. So if you're someone who's been experimenting with supplements on your own or considering stopping your medications to go the natural route, I urge you, pause, reevaluate, talk to your doctor. Real health is about strategy, not shortcuts. It's about combining wisdom, science, and support to create a plan that keeps you safe and empowered, not reckless and misinformed. There's strength in being cautious, in asking questions, in taking ownership of your choices through informed action, rather than desperation or trend chasing. The truth is, you deserve better than vague promises and miracle claims. You deserve a treatment plan that's grounded, personalized, and built to protect not just your numbers, but your long-term health and quality of life. Supplements can be a tool in that journey, but only when used wisely, transparently, and under the guidance of people who understand how your body truly works. So take this message seriously, not with fear, but with respect for your own body. You've already come this far. Don't risk everything on a label, a trend, or a shortcut. Your life matters too much. Your health is too precious. Protect it like it's the only one you have, because it is.